Hello students, welcome to Notebook. You might have heard of Mars Orbiter, mission MOM or Mangalayan. It is India's first interplanetary mission. Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, launched a space probe on 5th November 2013 to Mars. Ever since 24th September 2014, the probe has been orbiting or moving around Mars to study its surface. After all, scientists have suspected the presence of life forms on Mars for a long time. MOM and other missions to Mars have aimed to find out if such suspicions are true. The 2019 Hindi language film Mission Mangal is based on the lives of the scientists who were part of the Mangalayan mission. In the story An Alien Hand, which we are going to study today, Jayant Narlikar imagines life on Mars. He also tells us about NASA's Viking mission to Mars and how it failed to find any sign of life on Mars. We'll discuss this story, but let us first learn a little about our writer, Jayant Narlikar. Jayant Narlikar was born in Kolhapur, Maharashtra in 1938. He is an astrophysicist who developed the famous Hoyle-Narlikar theory on gravity with Sir Fred Hoyle. Narlikar has written many science fiction books, novels, and short stories in English, Hindi, and Marathi, like The Comet and The Return of Vaman. Let us now begin with our story for today. A small boy, Tilloo, wants to visit the underground passage which his father passes on his way to work. But his parents do not allow him to enter that passage. Not only Tilloo, but many others in his community wish to walk along the forbidden route. They want to know what is there at the end of the passage. However, nobody except a select few, like Tilloo's father, can enter that passage. One day, Tilloo takes his father's security card and quietly leaves home. His father is sleeping in the afternoon. His mother also fails to catch Tilloo when he slips away. Tilloo slips the security card into a slot when he reaches the metallic door of the passage. He has seen his father do that many times. The door opens and Tilloo sees a well-lit passage beyond the door. The underground passage slopes upwards towards the surface of the planet. Tilloo wishes to see the sun if it is daytime and the stars if it is nighttime. So, he starts walking along that slope to reach the planet's surface. However, the security system inside the passage is strong. Mechanical devices detect and photograph an intruder or trespasser's presence in the passage. Tilloo is the intruder or trespasser. A security guard stops Tilloo and takes him back home to his parents. His mother scolds him for his mischief. However, his father helps Tilloo by explaining what he does to Tilloo. His father works on a surface where an ordinary person will not be able to breathe properly and freeze to death. This is because the temperature is low and the air is too thin for breathing. His father can survive in such an atmosphere because he is trained and well equipped or well armed. He goes there dressed in a special suit and takes a reservoir or store of oxygen with him. His specially designed boots help him walk on such a surface. Tilloo's father then tells him of the past when people lived on the surface of the planet easily. They did not have to live underground, below the surface of the planet. But then, the atmosphere changed. Birds, animals, and fish died, and it was impossible for people to stay on the planet's surface. They began to live underground, under artificial conditions. Solar energy and great technology helped them survive. Tilloo's father and other workers in his team look after the machines which help people live underground in comfortable conditions. Tilloo is very excited to hear this, and he wants to join his father's team when he grows up. The next day, Tilloo's father and his team members discover something interesting on the big TV screen of the control room. They see something moving towards their planet. Tilloo's father thinks it is a spacecraft. Tilloo's father and his team members are puzzled. Who is visiting their planet on that spacecraft? They think that no other planet supports life except their planet. Their ancestors had sent manned and unmanned spacecraft to space to study the other planets. They had confirmed that there are no living beings on the other planets in the solar system. The members of the Central Committee wait for the President to make an announcement. The President announces that 2 spacecrafts are approaching their planet. He assumes that they are coming from a neighboring planet. He asks for the views or opinions about their way forward or plan of action from 3 dignitaries. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 1 is in charge of defense, and he is famous for his bravery and wisdom. He suggests that they use their technology to make the spacecraft non-functional or stop its operation. Then, the spacecraft will not be able to harm their planet in any way. Number 2 is a scientist who advises against harming or interfering with the alien spacecraft in any way. After all, they do not know how powerful the senders of the spacecraft are. Instead, they should observe the spacecraft quietly and hide their existence from the senders of the spacecraft. For the first time, number 3, who is a social scientist, agrees with number 2, the scientist. He also suggests that they should let the senders of the spacecraft think that there is no life on the planet. The surface of their planet does not have any life form, as they all live underground. So it will be easy to make the aliens or foreigners think that there is no life on the planet. Just then, the President answers a phone call on his personal phone. He then informs the Central Committee that the first spacecraft has landed. Tilloo is delighted when his father takes him to the control room that day. He watches the alien spacecraft on the TV screen and asks his father questions about it. His father tells him that they will exercise or use their power on the alien spacecraft only if it tries to harm their planet. Everyone in the control room sees a mechanical hand coming out of the spacecraft. The hand is moving towards the surface of the planet. Just at that moment, Tilloo notices a red button on the control panel and wishes to press it. There is a shrill whistle when he presses the button, and his father pushes him away from the button. His father then returns the button to neutral position, but the damage is done. The mechanical hand can no longer function or move because Tilloo has pressed the red button. Shortly after this, we understand that all this was taking place on the planet Mars. Tilloo, his father, his team members, and the president are all Martians. They are actually observing a spacecraft which has landed on the surface of their planet from Earth. The scientists from Earth have sent the spacecraft to Mars as part of their Viking mission. A NASA scientist tells the world press that the Viking mission is going on smoothly, except for a small problem. The mechanical hand of their spacecraft has stopped working. The hand is supposed to collect samples of the soil on Mars. They do not know that a mischievous child has stopped the mechanical hand by pressing a button. Sometime later, NASA informs the press that their technicians have managed to make the mechanical hand work again. The hand is collecting soil samples, and soon people on Earth will know if there is life on Mars. Again, they have no clue that Tilloo's father has returned the button to neutral position, so the mechanical hand is moving again. The NASA scientists who conducted the Viking mission did not find any evidence of living organisms on the planet Mars. Narlikar weaves a very amusing and interesting story around this mission. His story tells us why the scientists failed to find any sign of life on the planet. This is because the Martians lived under the surface of the planet, and they were hiding, observing, and controlling the spacecraft from Earth. Of course, the story is imaginary or fictional, but it does make us wonder if life forms might be hiding on Mars somewhere, and our scientists have failed to find out about them. Can you think of any other reason about why the scientists did not find any sign of life on Mars? Discuss your observations with your friends. See you soon in our other videos. Happy learning!